Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 20th of November. Starting with the DAX here, we can view this here from wave 4 here, up for wave 1, back for wave 2, and then up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2, and then moving up higher. It's also possible to count this here as 1 and 2 here, and then 3 here and 4 here, pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement level, which comes in around this level here, and then a push up from that point there. So yeah, anyway, it gives us a bit of a target to pull back into. So let's just cut through to the hourly chart where we've been working on this. So yeah, well, let's just go back one step further then, I think, just so it doesn't complicate it so much. So looking at this move up through here as wave 1 or wave 3 here, and if it is wave 3, then the wave 4 would pull back to 38 points. So we could look at 12,800 for that. Okay, that would be just a sort of a starting point at that point. Yeah, it's been a bit of a long haul to the upside here, but it does appear that we could have a top in place now with this sharp spike here. This wave 4 was a bit complicated. It pans out as a triangle pattern, so we'll go in and have a little look at that, and then we'll look at the trade setup. So so yeah, from wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here, and then up for this. It doesn't really give us a nice 5-wave sequence here, but we'll take it because it's made a new high here. And it looks like we need to, just at first glance here, it looks like we've got 1 and 2 here, and down for 3 and back for 4. So we've probably got one more little move here. But either way, even if it moved up from there, it doesn't really matter. What we're actually looking for is this low here. So we would only know the lows in place once we've got a rally here, pulling back to the 50-60% mark or thereabouts. But this low here becomes a critical point at this stage. So what we're looking for is that low, but we only know the lows there once we've got a corrective rally from that point. And then of course we can also look to get a better position on that short, but we want that low in first here. And if that's the case, then we'll see a move down, as mentioned, down into 12.8 here. So this is quite important here in terms of that. And we just right, I did a bit of work on this. Let me just so considering this being the top here, a little bit hard to, this is 100 ticks here, but it appears we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then all the way down for 3 here and 4 here, and then down for wave 5. So we need to make a new low here, so we can bring this down here a little bit further. So as I mentioned, we're looking for that first move down through here, then the rally. Now, if I've made a mistake here, then the mistake would be that wave 5 is already in play here, and we've got an A wave here, a B wave. Let me just move this here, an A wave here, a B wave sitting here as an A and a B, and a C wave sitting here, and then a C wave moving to the upside, which will take us into this space here for this. So yes, I've tried to pull that apart in there. It's a little bit tricky. But either way, what we're actually looking for, I mean, this wave 4's pulled back to the wave 4s of 1 lesser degree, so I'm just labeling it wave 4. But if this moves up through here in 5 waves, then we'll know that it's wave C here. If it moves down here further and makes a new low here, then we know that we're looking at wave 5 here at this point, and then we'll see the rally here. Then we'll see the ABC rally. So either way, what we're looking for is a clear proposition that we've actually got a rally in place here, because then we can look to short the downside by bringing up on the lows all the time. So that's what we're looking for. I'm not interested in chasing it down a little bit further and then getting caught out in a snapback. Not interested in that. The S&P 500 and the Asian markets are in the same situation as well. So in all of them, we're just waiting for that low to come into place here, and then we can come further down. Now, if this is the case here on the DAX here, let's just, and this is, you better have a look at the S&P video as well, of course. So we want that low to come into place. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. If it comes into place, then we're looking for a rally. So we just need to allow this to play out here. And then we can look for the short positions, okay? We may be able to get a better position up in here for all of that, but we'll get to that. Just don't want to get involved in this low here because we'll get trapped. And if the low's already in place here, well, then that's cool too. It doesn't really matter because then we'll just go straight up into this space here, and then we'll know where we are at that in that point, all right? And then we can look to build into some short positions a bit higher in here. So if we're coming down here, either in an A, B, or C, coming down to the 12.8 here, there's quite a distance through here, and obviously we've got support here. But once that support becomes the resistance here, and also too, it's quite interesting to note that I would normally turn bearish when this number 2, this is group 1 here. This is a major level, then these are minor levels, 1, 2, and 3 that make up group 1. And when we're in a bull market and then the 200 here, or the number 2 rather, becomes the retested resistance, then we'll be pulled down to the next level here. So, you know, these spiked through here. But they all recovered in their own way. They didn't take out their previous low, so there would have never been a short position here. But that's what we're looking for here. We're looking for something different here now, because if number 2 becomes the resistance, then the market psychologically in order flow will be pulled back down to the 13,000. And there'll be a bounce here, but the main point is that we'll be looking to come down a little bit further. So if this is going to move down, we need to set up here first, then the FTSE is going to move down here, so we need something logical for that. So the same thing occurs here as well. I've just opened this up a little bit larger here. If I go to the 4-hour chart, we can look at it like this here. So an A wave, a B wave in place now, and a C wave moving down into the 7,200 area here for this, maybe a tad lower, but that's obviously where the support's going to be, and we'll see 5 waves here. So one thing you could do here, if the 300 became the retested resistance, then you know that you can short it from that point. However, in the meantime, we may get a better price for this as well. So once again, this looks like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to come down through here. So what we're looking for here is, let's just assume that low's got to come in place. We're looking for an A and a B and a C wave through here. So then what we can do is we can copy this here, grab that, and just work it from that low to the second low here, and that will help us get to the downside of that point there. Still, we may even get a better move into this as well in this case, but and I put this trend line in here because it will play out in some way, shape or form, and it might give you a target to work towards there as well. But yeah, I don't count 5 waves up into this move here, so that's why I've called it an A and a B and a C here. Yeah, I mean, just need to be a little bit mindful too. There is a bigger bearish picture for this here. Let me just go to the monthly chart, shall we? So the monthly chart here, we can look at this as an A and a B and a C wave to this particular point here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and finishing here. But I don't think that's the case, because the trouble is that wave 4 here overlaps the top of wave 1 here. So this is a problem. So this count is probably not correct, but I just kind of got to keep an eye on it, don't want to get caught out. And the move down through here appears to be in 5 waves here, so this can be a corrective ABC rally and then down, so it can be a bearish picture here, so we just need to be a little bit careful about things. Let's go to the daily chart here. So I'm aware of the bearish picture, so 5 waves down here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then down for wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave here, because we're looking at 5 waves here. For wave 2 here, but the thing is I don't have 5 waves in this little section here, so that kind of bothers me a little bit. It's more like 3 waves here, which makes all of this bullish then. So I'm still toying with all of this. It will become evident at some point, but in the meantime, as long as this market here from this low here and to here stays above the 61.8% there roughly, so we're in this space here. So as long as the market stays above that, then we're still bullish at that point, and we are expecting it to move down to this point and then up from there. So once again, the number 2 here, if that becomes the retested resistance, then we know we'll be pulled down to this area, and if that's the case, then we know that we're going to be coming down further from that point. Okay, so it's just step by step and moving with the evidence. So we would need to wait for this to play out here. So coming back to the 4-hour chart here, currently we're looking at an A and a B and a C. I mean, what I find a little bit haunting about this is that when we're looking at a wave 2 normally, it's normally just a zigzag, an A and a B and a C, and it's normally a 5-wave structure from here. So would be a zigzag for wave 2 is 5 waves. So well, from the top here we can come down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, but I find it difficult to count 5 waves in here. I mean, we could go 1 and 2 and 3 and then way up here for 4, but that doesn't work very well, does it? So, but not the zigzag for wave 2 is 5 waves here, 3 waves here, and then another 5 waves here. And that's what we look, but that's what we should be getting in wave 2, a 5-3-5 structure. But we're not. We're getting this here. So the count that we had before with wave 4 here is still on the cards as well. So we need to be a bit mindful about that as well. So yeah. As 300 is the retested resistance, then we're likely to drop down to 200. Then we stop, reassess, we wait to see if this becomes the resistance, and then we can short again from that point. Just need to be step by step with this market. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.